Would you like to play City Skylines without your city dying by truck? Are you frustrated because your transit lines are trash? Well, in this episode of the Less Traffic Livestream, I'll show you how to manage your freight and your passengers so your city will flourish instead of flounder. Let me unpause the game here. There we go. Whoops, that isn't working. Sorry guys, I almost lost track of time there. So, yes, I did set things down low. Please let me know if the volume is good for you guys. I would appreciate that. Also, anybody who can send a like, I would appreciate that too. It helps bring more viewers to the channel, so we can have a little party here in Puerto del Mar. So, a few goals for today. Well, actually, let me tell you a couple things I changed. First off, before the sun comes up too much more, let me, do free camera here. And so we have a couple of bridges that I lit. I used the prop snapping tool. That was pretty nice little addition of a mod there. And just took those lights and added them right there. I guess that's an autosave happening. Give me a second. There we go. So we got lights on those bridges. They look really cool at night. I'll show you those later. And I also used the node controller to smooth out a few intersections so that they don't look quite as wonky as they would if it was up to the game. Like right here, this is actually a pretty steep grade for this boulevard here, and yet that road looks kind of flat. That intersection looks flat. So that's pretty cool. I'll show you some more stuff with the node controller today too. So a couple of goals. I worked on this a little bit here, but we've got a lot of trucks building over here. I think we're going to have to add some bones here to our city to really build a nice skeleton out so that we have lots of ways of getting around. So, hey, let me see what we got here, everybody. Look good. Let me know. There's a little bit of a delay here. Let me know if the sound is good here. I tried to turn it down, so hopefully it won't be overwhelming. So we're going to build some industrial area. We might rearrange this a little bit. I know that's not the most realistic thing in the world, but we've got to manage these trucks. And sometimes I find that rearranging is almost as important as anything else. So yeah, cities redevelop over time, especially when they're brand new. Things get settled in eventually. We'll probably finish building this little area in the peninsula. We might start working our way out here towards this peninsula. And I definitely want to build up on the hill, get some more, what's the word I'm looking for? My brain is not working today. The word I'm looking for is build some residential up here. That's what I want to do. And we're going to introduce Tram. I know a lot of you probably don't have the Snowfall DLC, but I really love the trams. They're very cool. And hopefully I can get away without having to go to metros, but we'll see. This is probably going to need metros eventually. So we're going to have trams running up the hill here. And I'm going to build some forestry over here. So let's check on our unemployment here. Oh yeah, one other thing I did, forgot to mention this, is I moved this arena. It's actually pretty cool. It's nice to have all the transit converge right here at Trans Central Station. Makes it real great for when there's a game. Nobody has any trouble getting out there. Oh, the other thing I did too is I finished Bonita Park. Oh yeah, that's another thing I'm going to introduce here. This burned down because it's not on a road. I don't know why the game developers made it that way, but if you have the Natural Disasters DLC, I'll show you a way to rebuild that. Actually, we'll do that pretty quick here soon. But we can rebuild that and not have to demolish it, which is really cool. All right, so let's see here. We want to check on our unemployment here and just see. Yeah, okay, 5%. So that means it's getting low. We need more people. I want to get these up to 5 stars. That would be super cool. We definitely have enough room for workers. We just aren't actually bringing them in to work. This place is actually really huge and making me a ton of money. I think I might have dropped the tax rates to compensate. Oh yeah, we're down to 5% taxes. So you would probably like living here. The taxes are quite low. Lower than the 9% we usually start out with. Okay, great. Everything sounds good. Awesome. Hello from Euclid. Somebody on the other side of town. Actually, it's my good buddy Nate. How you doing, Nate? And how is everybody else doing? Good to see Elric and Tommy and Haywad and somebody who... Sorry, I don't read Cyrillic. I wish I spoke a little Ruski. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know. Andrew, Andor, expletive deleted, welcome back. Conscript David, welcome back. Pierre, and Teddy, I think, and Andre. Looks like I got everybody. Okay, great. So we're going to build up here on this hill, go up Portland Boulevard on La Colina, which is Spanish for the hill. Yeah, I keep losing my train of thought. So let's build a residential neighborhood. That's what we really need. And I'm going to try to save time by building this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to lay that out with the right road in the beginning too. So we need to go up this hill. Let's turn on our topographical lines. That is not... There we go. Topographical lines. All right, so we want to go up this hill and build this neighborhood. I think if we just keep this road straight, we could run up about 60 units. Now, let me show you another mod. This is from Electrics. I would definitely recommend this one. Now, somebody pointed out that Move It has a slope smoother. I think this one is actually better than what you get with Move It. I just happened to use this in the past and it was familiar to me. But if I hit Control right here, I will get a percentage that shows the slope of each of these segments. And I can actually hit Enter if I want to make this perfectly smooth. Which, you know, let's see what that would turn out to be. Yeah, a little under 3%. That's pretty reasonable for an automobile grade on a boulevard. It's also not too bad, I don't think, for a tram. I don't know if I want it to be any steeper than that. So since we are planning to run a tram line down here, I'm just going to let that be. And I'm going to kill the music because it's loud for me. All right, so let's bring in some streets. Now I want to follow the terrain here because I don't want to have any really crazy grades. I think I figured out that if I go up between these dark, you know, these really bright terrain, you know, topographical lines, that it's about a 7 or 8% grade, which is actually kind of steep. So we're going to try to run our streets in this direction so that they follow the terrain lines, and we're not going to run very many streets down that way, at least below this line. So right now, let's get us a little bit of... get this working here. All right, so I'm not going to really pay attention, I don't think, to what's going on over here, although I might want to line that up. So why don't we at least line it up with that? How far out is that anyway? Looks like 24 units. Yeah, perfect. Okay, that'll work. And just kind of keep things parallel right here. And we'll go through with the node controller and smooth some of these out later too. All right, so we could probably use another intersection in between here, especially since this is going to be more transit friendly. I really don't want to end up with a situation where it's really inconvenient to walk to get to the tram. So we'll stay with our grid. 12 by 24, I think, in this particular spot. I don't know, maybe I'll go to 20. Why don't we go to 20? It'll give us a little more breathing room on either side of the intersection, and it'll keep us consistent with the rest of the blocks in the city here. There we go. Okay, that'll work. So now we have to transition this a little bit, and that's going to be a little tricky. So let's see. This would probably... Yeah, in keeping with our desire to follow the terrain lines, I think I'm going to run this street out like this. That should give me pretty good base. And we'll go out 24 here too. Alright, so we have 14 and 8. So let's extend these 6, which will give us a little symmetry. Didn't measure that one. 10, 4, so still 6. Alright. Now, since the slope isn't as steep in this part, we could probably run those streets right straight up the hill. I think I'm going to do that with this one here. We'll connect that right there. Now, this is a little weird, the grid here, so probably have to work that out in a second here. I might want to have a street run there. I need to fill this area in too. And I haven't worked out exactly how I want to do that. Maybe we'll just run something through the middle here. It's 16 and 6, so let's go 10. And we'll connect this like that. So now we have access to all that real estate in there. Yeah, that's a little odd right there. Let's try rebuilding that entire section and see what happens. Oh, I like that. That's good. I don't think we can reproduce that, though. Well, let's try anyway. I'm a perfectionist. I can't help it. Okay, I probably could. Turn on anarchy. Yeah, that's a little better. I like that better than it was before. And we'll probably have to work out the grade a little bit here too to get it right. So this neighborhood is looking good. Let's build it on up the hill. All right, so if we go up 20 here. And another 20. Yeah. I think that'll do the trick for now. This will be a little skinny through here, but it'll make it easy for walking, which is what we care about more anyway when we're building something that's going to be more transit oriented. So let's get some commercial. Looks like, yeah, we're a little low on commercial, so let's get some commercial going in through here, and we'll build some residential. I don't want to run this completely up to the railroad right here. The mod for Topographical Lines is Toggle It is what I'm using right now. There's also a Topographical Lines toggle mod by itself. Getting people to work at my farms. Let's turn the speed up a little bit here. Yeah, I'm having a little trouble with that too, but we're going to hopefully solve that here in a minute with the farms. I'm sorry. I have a little trouble getting people working on my farms too. So we're gonna hopefully solve that here in a second. Now I want to have commercial along my thoroughfares because it makes it super convenient for everybody to shop. I'm gonna do, oh, this is a nice little trick here too. I'm gonna turn, whoops. I'm gonna turn on my zoning, where is it? Zone it, there it is. Turn on my zone control panel. Now I want this street here to not have that little bit of zoning right along it. So I use that, and now I won't have to worry about anybody stopping on this street unless they're parking. I'm gonna do the same thing. Yeah, let's do the same thing right there. And we'll do it right here, and right here, and right here. That should help us manage some traffic a little bit. Alright, so hope we didn't, well, we didn't bring water in yet here, so let me get some water. Wow. Turn off my guidelines here. You know what? Let's bring back the tunes. All right, now we're getting some people moving in here. Send this up the hill. And I want to have this. I'm going to just make this whole area here commercial with a few office buildings. Oh, and another thing too is, remember I'm all about the sight lines, so I made sure that this street runs right into that door in the arena there. All right, so let's actually, no. We'll let that go. This will be a little entertainment district eventually. And we'll put some offices over here. Which is actually going to add more of what I don't need. All right, so let's get some residential moving in here. Another big welcome to everybody onto the live stream. We've got, I don't know how this happened. I thought I had that set for the sunrise, not set. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Now you can see. So we're working on Colina, and we're building up the hill. So we can hear ourselves think a little bit. I'm going to turn that music down just a tad here. Probably not too loud for you guys, but it is kind of loud for me. All right, that's better. All right, so we're working on building this neighborhood. I'm also going to add a tram line in here once we're done here. And then we're going to work on our industry here. So let's get back with the topographical lines and continue working up the hill. All right, so we could probably, okay, I want to have my zoning be normal now. Right here, I want to have this street run, that's 12, yeah. I'm going to have this street run right here, 12 units away. And we're going to have it run off of this. So 12 and 6. Let's just run that like that. Okay, great. So now we can build on the side of the hill without having it get too weird. Or at least that's the intention. I think we'll do the same thing over here. I'm not sure what the grade is. Let me check. Build up another 12 units and see what the grade is on this hill. Actually, let's build a couple of these, build a street or two in here and just see if we can do something about the grade once we get an idea of what it is. Alright, so in order to use this mod, you want to hit Shift C to clear the selection, and then you can hit Control. It's not probably going to work quite the way I want it to here. There we go. So that's 6%. That's a little steep. 8% is kind of steep. That's close to 8. That's almost 9. So what we can do to soften that a bit is to run at an angle. And we could just keep it at the same angle as the railroad. Yeah, I don't know if that's... Yeah, no, yeah, let's try that. Let's have it run at the angle of the railroad here. Yeah, that actually works. I think that will do. All right, now let's see what the grade is on that section. Shift C. It's not gonna give it to me. It's a little weird. Sometimes you have to do it by hand. Whoops. I don't want that one. Do have all of my... Yeah, I do. Okay. Shift C. All right, 7%. That's a little better. I'll tolerate 6.5%. Oh yeah, and we can actually smooth that slope, and it would probably get even better. And if we hit enter, that will smooth the slope. So it should be roughly 6%, I'm thinking. All right, now let's do the same thing with this street. In order to get it parallel, we'll zigzag a road right here. Oh, that's too close. Oh well, you know what? Why don't we? Anybody remembers geometry, you know that if I do 20 units right here, I'll get the angle I want without doing all that fuss. Because these will be parallel lines using the same angles. That one still might be a little steep. This one over here will be softer. Because it's on the side of the hill more. Alright. Let me redraw that street here. Not going to worry so much about the car. That didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Not going to sweat the car traffic as much here. Okay, that's better. Yeah, we'll just leave that. Alright, so we've got that street there. Let's see. Alright, so let's just run a path up that hill. There we go. So now people can walk up and down that hill. And we'll get some water up here. I had my marquee. Here we go. We'll let that go that way for now. And I'm going to put a school in right here because I think we're going to need one pretty soon. How are we doing on high schools? Good. Alright, so that'll help make that neighborhood a little more attractive. Let's check the chat, see here. Have you tried increasing public transport coverage from your residential to your farms? I find that it usually helps getting more workers. Yeah, we're going to do that real soon here. I'm just trying to get more people to move into the city. I got unemployment at 4%, so probably because I built all this other stuff over here. I just got to get up this hill, and things will get a lot simpler for me. Let me turn that off, make sure I get exactly 12. Hey, that's actually pretty close to a perfect angle. There we go. Looks perfect enough. I could probably put a park or something right there. Oh, I'm missing some water. That should do. Okay. Bring back my topographical lines. That's a little steep, but probably not too bad. So people can walk up hills a whole lot better than cars. So we're not going to make these quite as car friendly as we're going to make them people friendly. And let's do something different here. All right, so it's 16. Got 9 right there. So let's build a curve right here. That'll do. I don't want those worked out quite like that. Oh. Academic year's over. Probably be able to get our university up to prestigious today too, which will be pretty cool. There we go. Good. Okay. So we can fill this section in. We'll densify a little bit today too, I think. fill some of this in. All right, and I don't know. Let's leave that for a park. We'll mark that off right now. And then I'm going to go check out the chat as we let this fill in. Okay, let's see the chat here. I have to make sure that I don't scroll off here. Let's see here. The music is too intense, too fast. It's true. What's the mod for showing the topographical lines? You want toggle it. Okay. All right. So we're good here. Changed my name to Latin. Oh, thanks, Andre. I really appreciate that. It makes it a lot easier. Listochkin. Maybe create a neighborhood in the near area and prioritize working over going to higher education. Yeah, we could probably do that. I think maybe we'll do that over in Aristotle Park. We can try that. Some DLC radios keep their music pretty even. Country road and jazz radios are pretty chill. Pierre, have you tried increasing public transport coverage? Ratna, your city looks great and feels like that can exist in real life. That's what I'm aiming for. Andre, I often zone part of my industry areas as Industry 4.0. And as the city population becomes more and more educated, I expand the Industry 4.0 part of industry. Yeah, sorry about the day-night thing. I thought I had that solved, and then sun went down instead of coming back up. I'll try both of those. Hello, comrade. Clyde Hyde. What did I miss? We're just building a neighborhood on La Colina on the hill. He's building a new neighborhood. Okay, hey, thanks for filling him in. Elric, this is one of the base maps from City Skylines. No, this is the Sunset Harbor map that is on the workshop. So if you check the workshop and search for that, you should be able to find it. Yeah, thanks so much, Andre. I really appreciate it. Okay. Back to the show here. Let's see here. Just started expanding residential and commercial near the stadium. When did he build the stadium? The stadium I built at the end of the last stream, and then I just moved it around a bit so that it had a little bit better look on the land. I also extended a street to connect it directly to the university. Let's see if we're close enough. Okay, we need 80 more campus attractiveness, and we might be able to hit prestigious. Whoops. So we'll probably get that to happen today. Let's see here. My industrial traffic is a mess, even with large roads, sorry. Conscript, how's it going? And Micah, hey, from Ohio. I'm in Ohio too. This is by far my favorite city streams. Build along. I love the logic behind what you make. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. All right, so now we have a little traffic in this neighborhood, and I've still got people moving in. Check our unemployment here. I think I'm going to densify a little bit to cut some corners while we're doing this, and we're really going to see the benefits of the transit, I think, at that point too. So let's put some density right here, actually, downtown. And I'm not going to build it all the way up. I am dezoning and rezoning, as you've often seen me do. A lot of that is because I want to make sure these come in at nice sizes. Actually, I'm going to make... yeah, I'm going to leave it alone. It'll be fine. Constantly warring with my own perfectionism. I'm always second-guessing myself. So... If you want to know how to become a confident City Skylines player and you don't feel like one right now, well, I don't know what to tell you. Make it look good, I guess. So you can always change it later. That's another thing to always keep in mind. If you're not happy with something you've done, go ahead and redo it. You might like it better. I'll let that grow in. Now some of this is going to go to this street. I think I'm going to put offices over here too. I kind of like offices next to my hospital. Sort of seems like the right thing to do. And you know what? I'm going to put more offices right here. And get some residential. We'll build high density all the way across on this side of the Compost Del Mar. Do it over here. Now hopefully this will get enough people to move in that we won't have as much trouble getting the workers that we need. Okay, so let's build some tram lines. First thing we need for trams is we need a depot. This is probably my least favorite part about using trams, but I get over it. I sort of like, I mean, it doesn't really matter a lot where you place it, but what I really like to do is make sure that it's sort of central to where the trams are going to go. Let me get this water problem taken care of here really quick. There we go. So we want to find someplace that's somewhat central to the city, and also we sort of want a flat spot. I almost think that maybe in here would be good because I'm not going to be too close to a whole lot of residential areas, and I can always rezone that. I'd sort of like it to be somewhere that's not going to be quite that busy, though. So let's look for another location here. I don't want to put it downtown, kind of use up the precious real estate we have there. I probably could put it somewhere over here because I've got the industrial area, but it doesn't really... Well, you know, we'll just build it and move it later. That's my philosophy, right? That's not going to be a good spot. I don't want to put it where there's going to be a ton of trucks. I've sort of built on all of the good spots, haven't I? I could put one here. I'm going to have a light there anyway. I could prioritize the traffic. And it's sort of flat-ish there. I think that's what I'll do. Whoops. Actually, you know, I'm going to build it. Let me get a tram track here. Okay. Build a tram track right out from this intersection to here. And then I will build the depot in this area. Which is good because I don't really have anything residential built up in there yet. So that actually ought to work. Make sure we have water. So what I've got here is it will be a straight through intersection, but at least it'll only be trams coming out in one direction, so that won't be so bad. All right, so let's upgrade these tracks, upgrade these streets to get some tram tracks here. All right, so I'm going to do Broadway first and the Compost Del Mar. And that's going to be a little interesting because once we get to the Campo Del Mar, Broadway ends. And now we've got these two roads. So what I'm going to do is make it a one-way street with tram tracks. Just have to make sure we have each direction covered. And what this also does is it's going to make for a nice easy turnaround right here. This is actually, it doesn't look like it, but it's a 90-degree intersection right there. Hopefully these are going the right direction so I don't mess up my buses before I get the trams running. Okay, great. Now I've got one tram track built. So let's build us a tram line. Now we do have one problem here. We don't have anywhere to turn around. So we need to fix that by running a road here. Yeah, let's do this. So we'll run up. Oh, I know what we'll do. This'll work. Oh, not that. There, now we have a turnaround there too. Okay, so I'm gonna run this at about where the spots are for the buses. We want to make sure, one of the things we want to make sure of, yeah, let's put one up here. Nah, forget it. Yeah, no, we need that spot. That's a good transfer point. Okay, so this will really be, for the station, it will be a little bit of a walk for them. I think they'll get over it. And we're going to put the tram stops in about the same place as we had the buses. And the reason for that is because this is a rather dense neighborhood. Now, we can't put a tram stop at the same place as a bus stop. So we'll have to move that bus stop in a bit here. Okay. At least not on the 2-lane roads. We can't put a tram stop next to a bus stop. The 4-lane roads, the trams run in the middle, so it's not a big problem. And then we just need a terminus right there. So that should get our trams running. Now we can eliminate that bus line on Broadway. Whoops, wrong one. First we'll name this. We already have a lot of passengers on that first one. And you can already hear everybody upgrading. Probably, well, some of this is a new neighborhood, so that might be part of the reason, but it could also be because we put in more transit. They always love that. All right, so I don't need this. Whoops. Let me catch the number, the color, 77327C. All right, so we're going to delete that line now. You know, it occurs to me that that's probably not the best way to run that tram line. We're going to run one down Portland Boulevard anyway, so let's readjust this a little bit here and add a station. Put it right here. That'll do. Actually, yeah, they're gonna have to cross the street anyway from the median. And now I can move this here. That'll be a transfer point for that line at some point too, probably. Okay, so this makes more sense than what I had before. Whoops, I do not know what I just did. I don't see any problems, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to assume I didn't mess anything up. Okay, so we've got our first tram line. Let's make sure we have enough capacity on it since we've eliminated the that bus line. I think we eliminated it. Oh, nope, that's not the right number. I had that memorized. Well, it's gone now. Let's make it that color. Oh, that's what market is. Let's make it that color. That'll be good. Okay, now we will tell it apart from any new lines. All right, so let's see how many passengers we have here. We've got a fair amount. Looks like at 100% budget, we're probably going to cover most of the traffic here. That is one busy stop. That is a transfer point, which is not a surprise that that's kind of busy. It looks like we could probably use one more car on here, so maybe a couple more. Let's put our budget up to 125-ish. It should add at least one more tram. And we'll see how that works. All right, so now our next line. Let's build another tram line. Well, let's see if we have any questions over here. So hopefully we get some sequel news next year, even if it will take... Yeah, I have a lot of strong opinions on the sequel idea. I really think that we need quantum computers before they put another sequel out, because I don't want to undo all my great cities going on here because they decided to make a sequel for City Skylines. That's my opinion. I think if they keep adding DLCs and if they can make refinements to the underlying engine, I think that this game is perfectly fine as it is. I'm pretty appreciative because I know how far it came from SimCity 4 and how much better it is than SimCity, well, the latest incarnation or abomination of SimCity. Let's see here. Andre, I'm pretty sure the team is working on the sequel. Last few big DLCs reuse a lot of mechanics from Park Life, so they're relatively cheap. That's true. Doesn't mean the sequel is close to release. I would imagine they're probably only experimenting a little bit. They're probably looking for the same thing I would be looking for. I know enough about software development. Not for a game quite as complex as City Skylines, but I know business software, and it really doesn't seem like it's going to be anytime soon. We need a lot better engine. I would say that if Microsoft would improve Unity drastically, then we'd probably get a much better City Skylines. Downtown radio and country roads are nice and mellow, coast to coast. I'm having nightmares about much of a bother building this kind of tram in real life would be. Yeah, it would be seriously a big deal. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Oh, 7737 3B. Yep, that's what it was. Oh, well. Sorry. Thanks for keeping on that, Ayondor. I really appreciate it. I'm just going to leave it as is. I think this is going to work out okay. So let's get us another tram line here. I think Portland is a good place to go. Portland Boulevard, that is. So it'll make the park a lot more accessible. It'll make the industrial area more accessible. We'll also confuse the buses like crazy, but it's okay. We won't have them there very much longer. Oh, ha ha ha. Well, you know what? That's going to be the end of the line then. I don't want to change that intersection. That's really going to cause me some problems. So make that a tram turnaround right there. Those lines won't completely meet, but it won't be too far away. Let's see. We've got this. All right. So the thing with trams is we have to have room for them to turn around. That's always kind of a headache. All right. So let's start up here at Trans Central. And we'll go around the opposite direction. Start right here. And stop there in front of the university. Here at Laguna Boulevard. I'm going to skip that because this is more rapid transit here. And then I'm going to... Oh, I put tram tracks in. Whoops. I keep doing that. Now all those poor people thought they had to move, and they really didn't need to. Sorry. Okay. That should bring them back. Now they can live next to the tram, which I'll probably turn that in another, maybe an entertainment district or something. I think I have to start over with it. Oh, no, I don't. Okay, good. All right, so we're going to put the tram transfer point right here. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be good. Except we'll make it go the other direction. And then another... I'm going to put this stop... Universities are always traffic generators, so I know these are really close stops, but we're also in the middle of town here, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay, so we're going to have this go over here. Stop in the middle. Stop right here for easy transfers, and then that will be the end of the line. And let me move this, whoops, stop back over here so it'll be easy for Aristotle Park. So if you're in Aristotle Park, you can always walk to the tram by walking out whatever the name of that street is right there. Alexander Street will take you out of Aristotle Park over here to Portland Boulevard, where you can catch the tram and get through there. So we'll probably solve this area here a little bit more. Let's actually look at some of this right now. So we have a stop sign here, and we've got a whole slew of trucks backing up. So we're going to use Traffic Manager President Edition, although you can do this in vanilla too. We're going to make that a traffic light. We have a left turn lane there. That's pretty nifty. Now, see here. So that's a stop sign, and I'm not really sure if I want that to be a stop sign if trams are going to come through there. We're going to prioritize the trams. Even though that's a little bit of an awkward intersection. I believe the tram, yeah, it comes right there. Okay, so since those are right turns, you know what? I'll leave that be. Okay, so we'll probably do something different with this tram line once we do some other things I'm thinking of doing and make it a little more useful to us. Okay, now we need to do market, and then we need to take care of these trucks. Let's check our unemployment really quick. Just kind of, yeah, well, it's kind of low still. Don't think, oh, hey, we've got 5 stars on Sunset Petrochemicals. Don't know, I don't remember what the threshold was for workers. Now, how far are we away here? Whoops, we need just about 80 more workers in there. So we'll, you know what? I think, yeah, we've got a problem with that. All right, so now the reason why this is backing up is actually not the intersection, which is what you would assume by just looking at it. This grain silo is causing a lot of problems, so why don't we move it somewhere else? That will be less of a problem, like not at that intersection. We'll just build a side street right here. And it's going to be a cul-de-sac, even though I hate those. For the pure and simple reason that I don't want anybody else going down that road. Now, do we have water and electricity? We do. Good. So now, that should move a little bit better. And at the end of our academic year, we're still short. We have enough students. We need to get more going on there. All right, so now let me set my priority signs up here. So I want that to be a stop sign. I know in some countries that might not be a stop sign, that intersection right there, but in America, that's exactly what it would be. So I'm going to leave it like that since this is an American city. Doesn't mean we have to do everything the dumb way that we do them here sometimes, but for right now, we're going to let it go. Let it be that way. All right, need to empty the cemetery. Okay, Now, Market Avenue is going to be a little tricky because if we run a tram down here, we are going to end up creating all sorts of havoc with these roads right here, which sort of makes me want to not run it down Market, at least not entirely. In fact, I might just terminate it over here for the time being, and we'll kick this can down the road, because that's what any good decision maker does. Just ask a politician. They just kick the can down the road. All right, so we're going to do that. And in order to move trams to this turnaround, I'm going to build that area through there too. So they'll turn around over here. Whoops, I missed a spot somehow. No, that's just about a bus. Just for a bus line there. No, I never took the bus off of Portland either, did I? Oh well, we'll get to that in a second. Alright, so it looks like we're going to lose turn lanes here. I'm not going to feel too sad about that. It doesn't look like it's that busy to begin with. If somebody ever comes up with turn lanes on a tram, I would be super cool with that. I think I have a 6-lane set up for trams. That would probably do the trick. Oops, here we go. Oh, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was able to make the stop signs work the way they're supposed to for Traffic Manager. So that's cool. Now we might extend this street here too. For right now, I'm just going to have it go around the block. I guess I could have had it go around the other one. No worries. Alright, so we'll start. Yeah, I don't like left turns off of the main road. Alright, so it'll go around, and we're going to put these in roughly the same spot. I know that's yellow is really difficult to spot, but we'll put these in roughly the same spot as the bus stops. And the main reason for that is we need more stops when we have more density. So between Laguna and over here on the west end of downtown, I think we're just going to keep all those stops. Meanwhile, over here, we don't really have any reason to have that stop. So I think I'm going to eliminate that one. Just like we did over here on Portland. And then we will turn left off of here and run back. So we're trying to keep this as rapid transit. Now, how many blocks am I away here? I am a second block. Oh, I see what I did here. Okay. We'll do that. And that will complete the line. And now I can eliminate that. I'm going to make it a color we can actually see. Alright, so this would be Portland Boulevard, I think. And this would be Market Avenue. Yeah, I can actually see that one. And we'll make Portland blue. I guess it was green before. Oh well. And we'll eliminate these bus lines. Oh, yeah, we're going to keep Market though, because that actually is important to us. Just not all the way over on the other side of town here. Okay, I'm on Tram. That's why it's not deleting. Okay. Go to bus stops. Now, something we could do here is run an express. That's actually an interesting idea. Why don't we try that? So we'll run an express, and we will have the stops right there since we're losing that on the tram. Yeah, it'll be an express after that. It looks like I can't run a tram. Okay, I can't have a bus stop right there. Okay, that's right. Yeah, that's really good right there. Okay, so that'll be a transfer point. That is probably going to cause me traffic problems. I guess we'll find out. I do have some other assets that might make that work a little better. Okay, and then I'm going to just keep this segment right here of that bus line. And hopefully that will work. Let's check our budgets and make sure they make sense. Portland Boulevard is working pretty well. I'd say that that's working really well. Oh, getting an autosave here. Let me check out what we've got going on in the chat. They can't make refinements to this engine. It's too old. They need a new engine that will utilize all cores for simulation. That is the big key right there, instead of just one like this one does. Yeah, I wish I knew more about Unity. That could be true. Very, very well could be true. Let's see here. Yeah, I think .NET also has a problem with cores too, so that also might be part of the issue. Microsoft needs its butt kicked to get that to go. It'd be great if they'd at least make it somewhat compatible. You use Tram only road for a turnaround? Yes. Yes, I saw that. Thank you for pointing that out. Sorry I didn't check it sooner. Here in Texas, it's possible for it to be a yield depending on the traffic flow of the through street, but yeah, probably not on that one. No, yeah, on the main roads, it's usually not a yield sign. It's usually a stop sign pretty much everywhere you go. I was very impressed when I went to South Dakota one time. I was in a little town, and hey, there are only yield signs on the side streets. That's really cool. It was way easier, and they didn't have four-way yields. In Ohio, I swear they put four-way stops everywhere just so they can write tickets for not stopping completely at a four-way stop. I was going to ask you if you figured out traffic management, how do you get it to work properly? You know what? I think I just needed to turn it off and turn it on again. As soon as I kicked this thing out and pulled it back up, it worked fine. I don't know what changed. I'm not sure that I changed any settings other than the ones I already showed you guys. I think just pulling it back up again, the game figured out, oh, that rule is in. Okay, well, we're good then. We'll fix this. And actually, now that I'm looking at this, it looks like I've got one stop that's a little busier than I want it to be. So let's add a little bit more capacity on this. There we go. And let's go back to market. Alright, so this one is doing okay so far. I'm going to increase the capacity just a tad, because I think we'll need it. Yeah, that one's full, and then this is pretty busy. Yeah, that's way out there too. So it looks like we've got a pretty good system going here. So we've got our trams, and let's check on our buses. We only have one bus line. All right, so let's change that. We need another bus line, and this will actually relax some of the load. It'll relieve some of the load, I think. And actually, we probably could get rid of... You know, I wonder if that express is even working out. Let me check on that. I thought it would be cool to bring an express downtown, and I'm not really sure if that's actually the case. Oh, well... Most of this is pretty busy. Let's see. Okay, that's the stop at Campos del Mar. So it does look like it is getting used. pretty well. Yeah, so that takes care of this, I think. Now where is the transfer point? Okay, so that is not too busy. Let me go back to the other side of the transfer. And that side is not too busy. Okay, good. So it looks like our bus system is working out well. I do need to get trucks to stop using this road. So let's work on that here. Vehicle restrictions. Yeah, I wondered about that. Okay, so we don't want trucks on any of this. Oh, I forgot to hold the shift key. There we go. And we'll get rid of trucks up here too. Really, I'd like to just go through and ban trucks in this whole neighborhood. So this is a great way to keep trucks from cutting through your neighborhoods if you don't want that. It makes things a little quieter. Now, the bummer is it looks like there's some that are going through here. I don't know if I'm really opposed to that because there is a practical reason for that. We've got a lot of trucks running through here. I really hate to restrict trucks too much in my central business district. All right, so let's check unemployment and see where we're at. Okay, 5% still. Got a few more towers going over here. We are still about 100 workers short of 5 stars. Probably because these jobs aren't quite as good. These ones over here aren't bad. And I'm making a lot of money in there. All right, so everything is looking pretty good. And I don't know why I still have, that's why I don't have water in that one little spot. Now I do. That should not get abandoned anymore. Now, something I don't know if you guys knew. I'm pretty sure we have some decent housing. Yeah, we do have good demand. These will actually fix themselves, which is why I'm not aggressively bulldozing these. I'm going to do it right now, though, just because I don't feel like waiting. All right, so now we need to expand this neighborhood some more here so we can have an excuse to run the tram line up here. The other thing I want to do is build a connector over here. How are our truck situation? Well, that's actually a lot better than it was. Now, another thing I did here is I made it so we have 2 lanes turning in and out of here. It looks like I could probably use more lanes. I'd really love to have 2 left turn lanes coming out of there. As we build that up, I think we're going to see some changes there. But right now, I'm not going to sweat it too much. We need to get more people moving in, and we need to get... Yeah, that looks good. We need to get more workers in town here. So let's build some more up here on La Colina. Okay, so topographical lines. All right, let's see here. I think we need to run a road over here. Yeah. Yep, that would be a good place to put it too. Could even run it from there. That looks like a good plan, I think. All right, so let me see here. I'm just going to eyeball this one, which is uncharacteristic of me. All right. Okay. Is that 20? Oh, it was 18. That's fine. All right, now I need to massively expand this over here. Let's upgrade this. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay. So that'll be the end, the northern end of Portland Boulevard. And this will be the beginning of, I'm just going to call this La Colina Boulevard. All right, so now let's extend some streets. Now, how best to do this? Like to get something interesting out of here. I usually spend a lot of time when I do stuff like this thinking it through, and I don't really have that luxury since I've got an audience. 9. Let's go out 12. 18, okay, and we'll go 9 here. Yeah, let's just do it. This doesn't make sense in a suburban situation, but it totally does in an urban one. All right, so now, how far is that? That's 9 units. That's 10. Still 10. There's 9, okay. Of course, that's not a perfect 9. I'm not even sure what the angle is here. Not really a useful one. Okay, so... Alright, we got 9 units there. Let's go out 12. I like that symmetry. And we'll do this again over here. Go out 12. Okay, so that will actually work its way out too. Okay. That seems good. All right, now let me fix this bit here so it lines up a little better. Let's see, I see a lot of activity on the chat here. Yeah, you did the old IT trick. If you've never seen the IT crowd, I highly recommend it. Really funny show. And we're seeing dead people. That's not good. Let me make sure I have enough death care here. I don't in that neighborhood. Well, this is a good place for it. I hope. I have water, right? Yeah. Let me add a little more if I need it. Now, I am not playing with any mods that change the way the population is managed here, so it is always a possibility that I'm going to get a death wave. I could check that out. Now, I don't know if most of you have ever learned why death waves happen. I'm probably not doing anything at all to mitigate them. I don't have a mod or any of that stuff, so let me just do a quick rundown of death waves, although this is actually kind of really difficult to see. Although, okay, so my death rate rose up here to 92. My birth rate is now increasing because I've got all those dead people that have moved away. It looks like my death rate is on its way back up. What ends up happening is, it's really hard to put this. Okay, we have influx. Okay. So when a lot of people died, then I had an increase in influx. So a lot of people moved in to make up for all the people who died. I probably already had an influx somewhere around here because I had the clock running pretty fast. I also probably had an influx from all of the residential zones that I put in. It wasn't too bad. I've gone a little slow here, so that'll help. But basically what happens to create a death wave is that you get a big spike in deaths, followed by a big spike in bursts, a big spike in influx, and it just sort of echoes. You end up with echoes that will actually build over time if you build a death wave on top of another death wave. You won't realize you're doing it early on, but it ends up causing all sorts of problems for you later down the road. So the way you have to do it is you have to look for your birth rate and your death rate to be pretty low. What I always do, just to give you an idea of a way you can solve this, if you go into your population panel, you want to kind of figure out what your peaks are for births and deaths. And you want to watch these numbers, add them together, and when you see the numbers get to a point where you see them, really low most of the time, when you see those numbers get all the way down and then maybe trend ever so slightly up, that's when you want to start zoning a lot of residential. And it makes it so that you end up with enough people moving in to balance out your death wave. You do that enough times and you will end up solving all of your problems with that. All right, so I've got all this prime real estate here. What could we do? Let's see if I can remember where the natural disaster stuff is here. Okay, here we go. So disaster response unit is something that is really useful to have for situations like that one over there. Let me see if I can find a spot to put this that's flat-ish. Oh, I know where I could put it. I could put it up here in La Colina. That's actually a really good plan. Whoops. Be a nice central area in the city too. Just wish it would stop moving around. Okay. Yeah, not quite right there. I might be able to build one. Yeah, I could do that. I'll probably build it over here somewhere. Where's another location? I could probably put it here too. Actually, let's put it right here. So this disaster response unit does some interesting things. I don't know if I really like that location. It's not the worst. It's not the best. I think this puts out a lot of noise too. Let me check. Oh yeah, it does. That's going to have to be moved. You know what? Let's put this over here. I've got all sorts of open space here. Let's put it out by the port. Will it fit there? No. So the disaster response unit comes with natural disasters DLC, and it sends helicopters and trucks to destroyed buildings in the city. Basically, they're search and rescue. So they open up in here, and what they'll do is land a helicopter right here, like they're doing right now, and then that thing will change from, oh my goodness, I burned down. You can actually even see them going out there with the people and the dog. You'll even see a dog. At least you do when they're on the ground. Okay, so now they're done. Okay, yeah, there's the dog. Yep, you can even hear it. So now it has gone through, found all the survivors. Probably weren't any. It was, really messed up for a long time. I hope there weren't any kids when it burned down. So now I see that icon. It says it's been fixed. The area has been searched and it's ready for rebuilding. Hover over rebuild for building costs. So if I hover over rebuild, I find out it's $600, 600 credits to rebuild that. So I'm going to go ahead and rebuild it, and I don't have to figure out how to put that exactly where I had it before. It's pretty nifty. So if you have the natural disasters DLC, it saves you a little bit of work sometimes. but you have to build this giant, huge building in order to take advantage of it. So, yeah. Anyway, and it's kind of expensive, too. We'll find a nice place for that somewhere. Okay, so, hey, let's see. Let's get some more of this neighborhood put together so we can build it up. And actually, let's also bring the sun back up. I think that's up, isn't it? Which way is west? That's the sunset, so... I hope that's right. I think it goes around that way. Which way are the shadows going? I'm having such a hard time remembering which way is east and west on this map. Alright, so west should be out here. And the shadows are going the wrong way. No, they're going the right way. Yeah, okay, it's morning. Wasn't sure for a second. Alright, so let's get us built up here. So I sort of want to go back to my 12 by 20 here. Find this spot. Yeah. Yeah, I think that will do the trick. There, that looks good. Alright, so we need to go... Let's go 5 blocks. Let me get my train lines just to make sure I don't mess myself up. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. Yeah, that's what we'll do. 20 blocks right there. 20 units, I mean. Let's do the same thing right here. It's close enough. There we go. There's a little bit of symmetry to that. Now I can go through and fill this in. Oh. As long as I stop at the street in the middle. Alright, so why create so many intersections so close together? I think I've been over this a little bit in the past, but I'm going to talk about it again here for a second. The reason why we want to have these intersections close together right here is because it makes it so... This makes it so that it is easier to walk down the street to get to the transit line. If you look at old cities in America, you will actually find that they are very pedestrian friendly. Even some inner ring suburbs, and actually sometimes especially inner ring suburbs, can be like this because they were designed around streetcars or trams. So it's very realistic, and actually it's more realistic that we would start with, that we would have started with trams over buses in the first place, because actually we had trams or streetcars a whole lot earlier here in the States. So we've got an interesting little street that runs along through there. I don't know what to call that yet. We'll figure something out. And we've got La Colina Boulevard, and I think that should do enough to get this going here. So let's put in some commercial. Low density commercial is good because it's not real noisy. And we also want that to be on the main road because that will allow for easy walking yet again to get to the store. And it makes it so it's really convenient. They don't have to go and make any special trips to get to anything really. Because they always pass by on their way to work or on their way home. They always pass by the store. Trying to follow the streets here. And for some reason that is not straight. Probably because of the way I laid this out in the first place. All right. We're going to need some schools in here. Probably a park too. We'll put that in later. All right, so this is almost going to be transit-oriented development. Any of you urban planners out there, if you happen to be one, I'm interested in your input here. I'm going to make this a little bit of an employment center. In fact, I'm going to use this area here too. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make that high-density residential. Once that guy gives up. Oh, come on. All right, I'm just going to go to noon. All right, so now I've got some high-density residential right there. Oh, and I don't want that to be office. I want that to be commercial. All right. So this will be a spot where transit lines are going to converge. So I might as well make it so that it's got a lot of employment because that's going to draw people, have a lot of commerce because that'll draw people, and it'll already be on the transit line. Now, one of the things I need to do here is, oh, that's not where I want to go. I need to change this so that there's not a bunch of traffic lights. I want stop signs. Stop signs. That's not what I want. All right, I'm going to put a traffic signal there. Traffic signal there. There we go. Whoops, I don't want that to be a stop sign. Okay. So that area is going to fill in. I need to make sure I have water everywhere I need it. All right, let's see what we've got going on in the chat here. I don't mind you taking your time to discuss your thought process. Glad to hear that. When will you release the next More Money, Less Traffic video? Sometime next week. Should it come out. Do I use realistic population mod? Hey, I think I missed some chats here. Give me a second. Unity's new dot system would be perfect for this game regarding multi-threading. I'm not sure how it would work with modding. Yeah, it's all .NET framework as far as I know. I don't know how .NET handles all of that type of thing. So that's the thing I don't really know a whole lot about. Never really made a game. I can imagine living here as a person. I'm glad to hear that, Conscript David. Let's see here. Do I use... I wish I had that on here. I've been toying with it. Next series I do live, I probably will use the realistic population mod. In the corner where you pick your tiles, you can see the sun travel around the outer edge. Yeah, I know, and I just keep getting confused as to which way it's going. It looks like it's going the opposite way that I thought it was going. I don't know how I got confused on that, but yeah. Elric 1977, unless you had a horse. Yeah, well, that's the other thing, too, is cities were designed around walking, first off, in America, and then they were designed around walking and, horseback. Horses walk, too. But it was designed around the railroad station, and then it was designed around streetcars. Eventually, motor cars supplanted all of that. And so now we have the wreck of public transportation and everything that we have now. So it's lots of fun. Come visit. It's actually a nice country. It's just, you have to have a car in most cities. Let's see here. They kind of had to. So you have this thing where often old times, the old town is more pedestrian friendly, which is ironically enough the more progressive way to design cities. Conscript says to Elric, horses as a means of transport weren't that common, especially inside cities. Horses are bloody expensive. Yes, they are. 90% of the population everywhere had at best a few goats, and as awesome goat-based transportation sounds, I don't think any society ever went that way. Yeah, that's true. You can see it already. Goat war chariots, goat carriages, goat knights, goat step archers, goat hauled trams. I think if they used goats instead of horses, the world would have had a lot less warfare, and because the goats are kind of cute and they eat everything, so that would probably be a deterrent too. A goat-based transportation network. Oh, the pictures in my head. Yes, I think the kids would all want to pet the goats, and the goats would not be interested in pulling the wagons anymore. Have you considered putting the base of this map on the workshop? I wanted to try and follow along, try this no roads idea myself, but I couldn't work out how to get started. Well, first off, if you use the Move It mod, you can take any map and just delete all of the stuff off of it. Make sure you get the unlimited outside connections or any road outside connections mods from Bloody Penguin. He makes some really great stuff. The more mods you have of his, the better off your gameplay will probably be. I think it's Clite is the other one. I could be wrong. He's making a lot of good stuff. He's taken over on stuff like Fine Road Anarchy and Fine Road Tool, things like that. I just got this game for PS4 and never thought I'd be watching building videos nor see such a big community in 2020. Doing a good job, thanks. Don't forget to rename and continue streets. Yes, that'll happen. I usually do that off camera. I don't know if you've noticed, but even the little paths like the Midway and the Midway East and West and Pacific Circle and Scientific Way and Pythagoras Way, all these little walkways at the trade school campus all have names. It's pretty cool. Let's see here. So how are we doing over here? How are we doing on employment? 7%. Oh, hey, good. It's going up. I know that sounds kind of bad, but there's a reason for my madness. Okay, so let's make sure we have enough of all of our education options. We have tons of university. We have enough elementary at the moment. How are we in fire and police out here? We could probably use some more. I don't want that one. No, I do want that one. All right, so I like to put those on the main thoroughfares too, and I want to make sure that I have maximum coverage. I think that, yeah, I'm probably going to have to connect some of this up. So I don't have good coverage over here for my trade school campus at all. Maybe I should just put some police over there to start off. Or Aristotle Park for that matter. I seem to have a hole right here. That seems to plug it. What is that? Post office. Oh, I forgot all about those. They're very forgettable. All right. Put a police station there. Let's check on our fire coverage here. Fire, not disasters. That's going to increase values over in that neighborhood. I think if we can get this in here by the post office, that might be kind of nice. Okay. That ought to do the trick for that neighborhood. Although, what about this one? I've got a water problem over here again. So, how can I get this entire thing covered? I could probably build one right here. That won't fit. I think that'll do. And it should be able to put police in that neighborhood too. It never hurts to have a little land value going on. Obviously, we've got quite a lot of income anyway, so I can certainly afford to extend services. And let me fill that area in a little better. Okay. Oh, healthcare. I haven't put any hospitals in a while. We could probably use one up here on the top of the hill. That won't fit either. Okay. Neither will that. But that doesn't look too bad. I think that'll do. And we'll put some office buildings right in here. That should grow in nicely, and I'll put some more in here. All right, let's see if we can work our way up the hill a little bit more, because we're definitely going to need more population here soon. I think we're probably getting close to, yeah, okay. I'm going to add a little more room so I don't have to build this later. That is actually not too bad right there. And it goes right into that center. That won't be too steep. No. Okay. And that might even be... That's kind of steep probably, but I have to see how steep. Let's see if we can get a measurement. Shift C to clear. Hold down the shift key, select a couple of nodes, and of course it doesn't want to tell me anything. Shift C again. Hold down Control. Hit one in the middle. Okay, there we go. So it's a little over 7%. So let's bring that down some. This is a way we can solve the slope problem. And that should do the trick. Okay, now it's only 4%. Let's raise it just a little bit. Now it's 5. All right. That should be good. Okay, so now we can extend this road down. And we want to make sure straight slope is not on. We want to make sure that we are level. So there's going to be a hill there. That's okay. And then we should be able to yeah. You know what? I'm only going to build that part way. Oh, anarchy is on. I'm going to leave that right there for the moment. Extend a water pipe down here. And we can add that. Oh, and one thing I forgot to do. And this is important and doesn't work without mods. Which seems sort of silly to me. Turn off my guidelines. Alright, so I'm going to go back to... That's not what I want to do. Oh, I want to go to node controller. This is what I want. Alright, so node controller. We're going to add a place where the Sims will be able to cross. That is not lined up perfectly. So I'm going to put a node right there. It wants to have a traffic light. I don't want a traffic light. I do want crossings. And I don't really care if they stop. They slow down there. We'll let them go ahead and... nah, that won't be. We won't do that. Otherwise, they might run over Sims. Put one there. Get rid of the traffic light. And I think we're good right there. So that'll allow the Sims to cross the street. Right here, we'll add crosswalks. Oh, that's not going to help me. Well, it already has a node there. Oh well, we won't worry about that one right now. It doesn't really matter that much. So now everybody can get across the street and go up all the way up the hill and get down here to the transit. That's a bit of a hike, so we're probably going to have a bus line that runs through here somewhere, and it'll probably take us right in here to the center of town. In fact, I might just change the layout a little bit here. I kind of want this to go all the way through. All right. It just seems like it would be a more reasonable ask to get them to walk there. And we won't put anything in there. We'll actually make that a little pocket park right there. Or whatever they call that. A little spot for a park. Okay. We can fill this in too. All right. Now I could probably extend the tram line down. Why don't we do that? And you know, we're gonna make that not the way it is. All right. Okay, so we want to have easy connections here. I'm going to drag this stop. And move it right there, and I'm going to drag the other stop. Whoops. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to lose. All right, now that one's gone. Why do I have... I am missing something here. Oh, I know what I'm missing. Oh, no, I don't know what I'm missing here. Why is that not working? Let's just delete. Well, I do want to stop there. I also want to stop here. Why is it going that way? I don't understand. There must be a stop, but I just can't see it. Why doesn't it want to go through there? Now I wonder if I messed something up with Traffic Manager here. No, I don't think that's it. I would think that should work just fine. Oh, that's what I'm missing. I couldn't see that. Let me clear that out here. Because the lane connector is probably one of the most dangerous and useful features of Traffic Manager President Edition. If you clear those out, it makes it work. Makes things so that you can't accidentally make it a huge mess. Okay. Oh, it still is not cooperating with me here. Why is that? I took out that stop. Took out the other stop. He's just trying to take the short route. Huh. It seems insistent on going around that direction. I do not know why. Maybe somebody's got an idea in the chat. Haven't you just induced or at least contributed to a death wave by zoning in all that space all at once? It's not as bad with low-density residential as it is with high-density. Yeah, dedication with the university path names. Andre, how do you decide whether to build a second university campus or to expand the existing one? That's probably, that's actually a really good question. It's a good personal choice, I would say. You could probably expand any university as much as you want, and then you'd end up with something as big as Ohio State, probably, that has a ridiculously huge enrollment. The other option is that you could just build another one when you see that you're already prestigious at one of them. You just don't want to go too fast because then you won't have enough population to keep them both going, and then one will probably lose students, which is not what you want. You can build a crossing without any mods if you build a small section of road. Yes, I've used that trick many times. Use the intersection marking tool. I have not gotten into that one yet. I haven't gotten into procedural objects yet either. Two-lane road. Yeah, right. I have used that trick many times. That is a good trick, especially if you're vanilla. You'll probably see that in more money, less traffic at some point when I start building public transportation. How's the other town doing near the lagoon? You know, we'll check on that pretty soon because I'm going to start building up forestry over there. Only one line per rail. Not on trams. I do not understand exactly what is going on here, though. This is a little frustrating. Because I thought I got rid of all of this. It wants to go that way. It really, really can't help it. Why does it think it needs to do that? Maybe I messed it up with a lane connector now. Probably did. Aha, yeah, now it's working, I think. Whoops. I think I messed it up with a lane connector, like I said. Very powerful, but also very, very easy to wreck things without intending to. Hopefully that will still work. Probably hung on to that. Alright, so I've got my stops there. Do I have my stops here? Yes. And I still have my stop over here by the university. Okay, good. I think we're in good shape now. Except for that abandoned building for some reason. Goodbye. Well, a lot of people really... Oh, looks like they won. Yay, they win. Okay, so now another fun thing to watch is everybody coming out of here. And of course, they're all wearing the team colors. Which, if you'll notice, when I set up the bridges, I made sure that they were the same color as the team colors. Since they're over here by the university, might as well. So now all of these cars are trying to get out and go home, but also all of these people are trying to go out here and get on trams, which is why it's good to have a big, huge convergence point here for all these trams and all the buses. And also they're going to go over here to the university because some of them are probably students. At least they won, right? That's always good. So let's see if we can connect these two neighborhoods up a little bit here. Whoops. Let's get this going here. All right, that should be a good grade. And I think we're gonna curve this around. Let's build that street and connect it. And then what is the angle here? Let's get a perfect 45 right here. Build a guide road. I don't think we're going to build on that hill. At least not right now. So that should connect nicely. Now I have another city. Actually, I think it's the one we're using in More Money, Less Traffic. When I have put big sports complexes like that in, it really causes a lot of problems with the traffic. It is insane. It clears out a lot better in this city because I've built everything right next to the train station. So that's going to be a huge advantage going forward. All right, so let's just fill this in with residential too for the time being. And I want to access this more. I'd like that to be more accessible. Yeah. It's not too steep. No, that's good. All right, let me straighten these out here. All right, let me get that 45-degree guide road back here. I want it to be a curve because I think it's going to be a little more attractive. Ah, I forgot some water. Okay, now I shouldn't need this. Oh, maybe I will. I'm gonna need it. Stop that. Trying to get this to line up nicely. Oh, I need to make that a little longer. That will do. Now all that should have coverage. So if I build some more commercial and whatnot over here. The depots tend to be rather noisy, so I'm not going to zone too heavily over here with residential at least. But I am going to put a couple of high density, a little bit of high density right here. Put on both sides here. So we'll have some residential towers pop up in that neck of the woods. I think that would make sense. Probably going to end up with some around here too, because you want to have density close to your transit line. Always helps. Now, how do I have... Oh, I'm good. I can fill that in. Let me do that. And now we're going to go out to Paso Laguna in a second here. Let's check our unemployment. Oh, 5% again. Well, we do need some more residential. Maybe we'll do that over at Paso Laguna, or maybe we'll build another little town. trams are getting kind of bottlenecked over here, as are our buses. We might reconfigure that to make that work a little better. It's a little bit of a tricky spot for sure. Okay, so everything seems to be working pretty well. Let's go over to Paso Laguna. Now, my goal was always to move some of this power plant stuff back over. How are we doing on electricity anyway here? Oh, we've got plenty. Probably because I built... Yeah, well, this puts out a little power. Let's check out the chat window here before I get going on here. Do you stream on Twitch? No, I do not. Never have messed with Twitch much. Ever tried a one-tile city as a challenge? Maybe we'll do that sometime on a live stream, though. It might be fun. Everything in this game is either too big or to be useful or too small to be realistic. Looking at you, one building hospital complex and most unique buildings. Yeah, I agree. The hospitals are too small. I wish that when they did campus that they would have made hospitals part of that. That would have been super cool, because how many universities have a health center? I mean, come on. You got to have a medical school, all that other fun stuff. And they have the medical school, and it sort of does that. But, yeah, I haven't really played around with that. I've done that a little bit in another city. What else we got? I wish the scale would be more consistent. It's one of my main peeves of this game. Yeah, that's why I love custom assets. High pitch. I love the game, and watching streamers play it. Some of the stuff they do is just glorious, but all the mods you need to get that level of control annoys me. I just don't have the patience. You don't get there all at once. You want to start small and build your way up. That's my trick. I started detailing cities, and it's really addictive once you get started. So I do recommend it, but you start with ploppable Rico because you want to have those big, pretty skyscrapers. We'll probably introduce some of that here. Get those big cities, big, pretty skyscrapers going, and then we'll add in, getting into more extensive neighborhood detailing. I play with no mods and still have pretty good cities. Lee's original Less Traffic series was super helpful. Well, thanks. I'm glad that worked out for you. High pitch, I guess it's a case of once you know what is out there, playing stock is a bit dull. Then again, it's been quite a long time since I actually played it. Might be better now, vanilla. Mass transit makes a huge amount of improvement. I will say that. While the base game is really annoying and frustrating, you can make really good things with it. I play basically 99% vanilla most of the time, and I've managed to create pretty nice, believable cities. Yeah, I have to agree. Every once in a while I go back to vanilla and I'm like, hey, cool, I can do quite a lot with this. You were going to build out on the peninsula. Oh, yes, I am going to do that. I'm going to try to get to that. We have a little more time left. Yeah, there are a couple of necessities, I think, traffic manager being one. Okay, so let's take one last look at traffic here. 83%. It's not a bad number, considering. I think I've managed my truck problems over here pretty well just by moving this little pesky silo. It's made a huge difference. As far as workers here, I'm still about 80 short. I need a neighborhood over here, don't I? Probably will build one of those too at some point, maybe next week. We're kind of running out of time here. All right, so we're going to build out to the peninsula. Well, let's hold off on that for a moment. Yeah, I'm just sort of realizing some things here. Well, we'll deal with that if we have to. I was thinking about running a rail line out this way because I do want to have one come in from the north right here. My original idea was have it go all the way around. That's kind of nice. But I'm not really sure I'm going to be able to do it anymore because of building all this stuff. Maybe we'll just make room for it and brute force it in. Because I sort of forgot about it, to be honest with you. At least we have a nice neighborhood on La Colina. I'll just have to make sure I build more in this direction instead of up the hill further. Let's check out the sight lines here. This has got to look kind of cool. Yeah, it does. Looks like a city back there instead of just the end of one. If we're looking up the hill from Trans Central Station, that looks pretty cool. We need a nice signature building up here at the top of the hill. That would look pretty cool. And you can see out to the water from here, and you can see Trans Central Station. A lot of buildings have popped up in front of it, unfortunately, but I don't know. We do have a good sight, a good view of it in this direction, which it gets more light than the other direction anyway, so that's probably fine. If we look down Broadway, what does that look like? That looks pretty cool too. It almost looks like a real downtown. It just kind of drops off into houses right away, doesn't it? A lot of big buildings and then a lot of really small ones. That's one of the reasons why I like to details, because then I don't have to fix that later. Okay, now I don't have enough water, which I just realized. Probably should put some water connections over on the other side of this area here. I'm going to put one right here. Oh, now I have to power it. Run some power lines out here. Okay, so that should take care of my water problems, I hope. Mostly. Yeah. And let me build another water plant, wastewater plant over here. That'll do. How does that look? Is that balanced? Should I build another water plant there? Yeah. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right. Let's go out to Paso Laguna. Maybe we can get some more workers over here. Let's see if we have anything else going on in here. Yeah, vanilla game, 45-degree angles. I agree with that too. As you can see, I really don't like to be forced into the mold either. You are going to build on the peninsula. Traffic manager is definitely a necessary mod. I really think that's the best. There are some parts that are tricky, and we're definitely going to use some of that. But right now our traffic is actually too good. We're not really big enough for that yet. We don't have enough complicated intersections. The rail connect to Central Station from the east side. Yeah, that's a possibility. That would sort of wreck some things. Actually, I might not even have passengers go into that side anyway. That's part of the reason why I didn't end up building that way. Yeah, I don't know. I have to noodle on it a little bit more. The rail behind the stadium and towards the lake on the north. The rail can connect to Central Station from the east side. Either that or around the hill left of La Colina could be decent. Not the most direct approach, though. Have you seen in a video how to create realistic zoning districts in city skylines? Is this the one from a city builder, a city planner plays city builders? I always forget his name. His name's Phil. I think if that's the one you're referring to, yes, I have seen that. And that is an excellent video. I definitely recommend that. And I recommend him. He's an actual city planner in Wisconsin. So it's worth checking him out. Sure, you're probably going to think he's very American too. But if you're an American and you want to build American style cities, then he's definitely the guy that you want to check out. So yes, I am familiar with that video. I thought it was very well done. And I am probably going to use some of those techniques, especially the preventing high rises and stuff like that. There's a few other techniques that we can use too in high density districts that will help. The only vanilla skyscrapers that look good are the self-sufficient buildings. The standard ones are terrible. Yeah, probably true. I'm really not a big fan of any of the vanilla assets. All right, so let's see here. So we've got our rail connection up here. So that's freight, that's passenger. And of course I have passengers going on the freight line. That figures. I think I need to move that anyway. I think it would make more sense if it was over here, seeing as this is kind of a weird shaped city. Most of the time the rail comes in this way and the city is sort of blocked off from that. If I had it to do over, I'd probably put this rail station right here and move this one over here. Since I'm not really using freight on that, I'm going to leave it alone for the moment though. I sort of don't want that there, to be honest, either. So let's see, what could we do here? You know what? Why don't we build over here? I think that might be more interesting. What do you guys think? I think we're going to build a station over here. All right, so now I got to find a straight piece of track. And what's interesting is this is going to be just as isolated as the rest of the city. We aren't going to have any roads that go over here. It looks to me like that is the only straight section. Yeah, I think that's it right there. Okay. So we would need both freight and we would need both freight and we would need, well, we need passengers. I don't know if we'd have to have freight, only if we have commercial over here. We probably will, though. It's kind of silly to have a town when you can't sell anything there. And that's sort of the point of having railroads. Is so you can have things and not just people. A lot more profitable. All right, so yeah, I don't know that there's going to be a whole lot of industry in this town. It doesn't look like a good place to have much of that kind of thing. All right, so since this is on the main line, we really don't want to jam this up. I wish there was a more sunken version of this, but we do have a ground bypass station, another ground bypass station. I think this one is probably the better pick. Yeah, it is. Yeah. This one, yeah, that one's okay. I think I like this one better. Now, do we have any more? Yeah, okay, that'll work. All right, so we're going to build this ground bypass station. Where did it go? Okay, this, I believe, is from Bad Peanut. I could be wrong. I think it's Bad Peanut. So this is a bypass station, has two flat platforms, so, and it also has the main line that'll run in between. So it has a siding for each of the passenger rails. Yeah, and then we'll do a spur for the freight. I think that's what we'll do. Unless I could... Maybe I should just build a siding for everything and just forget the bypass. Why don't I do that? Now, if it would only stop hiding... Alright, so now the trick is to build a station in this little area here that is not going to take a whole lot of rearranging of earth. I don't think that's going to be very doable here though, so I might as well just get down to business. Alright, so get that out of the way, go to about that size brush, and oh, yeah, we need to work on the campus attractiveness there, don't we? Wow, we've got a lot of students. That's great. All right. I think we'll do a siding. Although I am not as big of a fan of that. Yeah, it's so big. I like the Kansas City Freight House, but it comes with its own little problems. All right, let's build a siding here. That's the wrong thing. Maybe this would work, actually. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And build the freight house near it. All right, so first thing we have to do is wait for that train to go by, and then we'll pause the game. All right. The next thing we need to do is build a guide road parallel here. That is not quite in the right spot. Let's try that. Kind of wondering if I don't need to go half-seas here. You can use the narrow roads and network extensions to accomplish this too. I think that, well, I have to upgrade that to a regular road here. Yep, that's what I have to do. Okay, so if you have snowfall, you can use the method I just used. If you don't have snowfall, then you'll need to get your hands on network extensions too. I'm having a little difficult time right there trying to figure out. I think that should be the right spot right there. Turn on anarchy. Yeah. Okay, that should be enough. Go back to a normal track. There we go. Now I want to make sure I have straight slope turned on. And theoretically that should be pretty straight. Okay. So we have a passenger station. That's good. I don't... Yeah, I do. That's not going to work. I wish that this looked the way I wanted it to. I have always wanted a station that sits on the side of a hill and just drops down on one side. You know what? I'm just going to force that right here. I don't care if the parking looks a little weird. It'll make more sense. Okay. So now I need another road. I need to run that rail over here. Build a freight siding. If I hold down my Alt key, I can use precision engineering and get a pretty good run right there. Okay. No, I'm just not going to worry about that being two-sided. It's just not quite the right station. Not the perfect station for this. Okay, and I'll use the freight. Kansas City Freight House. I should be able to go out. I think 3 units should cover it. I have to do a half unit there too. Let me go to tram. One-way tram tracks. I don't think that's going to get me what I want either. Alright, let me build perpendicular roads. Whoops. Okay, now back to my tram. Track. Let's try that. I think that's too close. Bring it back one more. I think that'll be right. All right, now back to roads. Upgrade that to a 2-lane road. You'll stagger the grid. And try the freight house. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I want. Oh, exactly what I want, except for that it's going to be on the parking lot. Well, I don't know that it's going to matter. I'm just going to deal with that. So not be that busy of a freight station for sure. I don't think anyway. All right, you want straight slope. Huh. Why is it bending? Oh, it's because I'm on the wrong tool. looks good. I want to be able to get freight in from my city as well as not from my city. Oh, it looks like I need to fix that because it's probably going the wrong direction. In order to do that, I have to drop this so that it's level with the track, or I get some undesirable ripple in my main line, which I do not want. Oops, not that. That is a straight section. Okay. So let me toggle my topographical lines. It looks like everything is straight. I can start building a town. Okay, let's see if we have anything going on in the chat. I don't see anything big here. Thanks, Andre. Conscript David, the game has this issue that as time went on, their asset design got better. Old stuff looks like toys, new stuff looks nice. Compare, for example, regular office buildings versus IT, trains, and the L rail. Yeah, it's true. Conscript David, or the new industrial buildings compared to the vanilla industrial, inconsistent design, scale, function. Yes, that's very true. Yeah, I don't know if it'll be a tourism town or not. I haven't really decided yet. I mean, it probably should be with this little lake here. It's definitely going to be at least a bedroom community for the rest of the, for the other part of the city. I need to put some nodes in here in the right spots. I think that'll do. Okay. So now I need to raise up here. Now this will be probably a little bit more stereotypical railroad town, except for that usually there's some flatness over here. Whatever. Normally you'd actually have them on both on the same side, you know, in a situation like this, I think, too, but that's just not the way it's going to work with this, with the stations that we have. Okay, so I need to get up out of this area here. Well, I don't want that to be 4 meters high. Topographical lines, that looks like it's pretty unsteep. I'm gonna make that a little steeper. All right. And then we can go up the hill here. How steep is that? Not quite as steep as the other side. All right. I think that will do the trick. All right, so now we need some main streets here. I also need to be able to bridge across this. Now, do I have enough room to do it right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hey, that's perfect. And does it rise up there a little bit? All right, so now in order to get this to be straight, first off, I'm going to undo everything I changed over here. If it lets me. Oh, it's packaging. Okay, let's see here. Still need freight to deliver consumer goods. That is correct. That's why I had to build a freight station. Why not use anarchy to plop it down and then use move it? I would, but I find I get more perfect results when I do it the way I just did it. Your cities, towns always look so nice. Mine are just sometimes compact messes. Yeah, well, sometimes I feel like mine look like compact messes too, but I try to keep them organized. All right, so let's... All right, so it looks like it undid everything over here. So that looks super neat right here, except for that... freight trains that will be I don't want that to be too high. That is in need of a little raising, I think. There we go. Okay. That looks level now. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure that this is a perfectly straight bridge, just because I like them that way. By taking the reading on one side, now I know, at least I think I know. Oh, that's not what I was supposed to do at all. Apparently, I didn't do that quite right. No, it looks like I did just fine. It just doesn't like it. Yeah, that should be good. All right, so now I will undo all that I have just done right there. And I should have a nice, perfectly level bridge, which may not even be completely necessary, although I do sort of think it kind of is here. Now, is that going sloping up or down? Sloping down. All right. And I probably would like to use some of that area over there, so I'm going to slope that. Slope my way over here. And then I'm going to connect this. Except I want it to be on the ground. Probably want it to go right there. Turn off my angle. All right, I don't want it to do that. So I'm gonna, actually I need to make sure that's level anyway. Oops. Move it here. Level this out. There we go. Okay. Turn my angle so I can get a nice 90-degree angle back here. Don't want it to be that close. Nope, that's too far. That should do the trick. I want straight slope here. This is for trucks after all. That's a little steeper than I'd like it to be. Let's see how steep that is first, before I get myself worked up. All right. 4.5%. Why is that steep? Oh. So there's a little trick we can use to get this to be level. You know what? I don't really care about that. Honestly, as long as this looks good. And I think that's all I need to do is increase that. Yeah, that's way better. Okay. And how steep is this? Just see. Oh, and it moved my pillar. I don't want that. Wanted that pillar exactly where I had it. Now it won't be perfectly level. Stupid thing. Shift C. Okay, so that actually is probably level. I think I'll just live with that right there. I think it'll be fine. Alright, let's build a town. And actually, the other thing I want to do... Since we've got all this dirt from having cut right there, I think that we would have enough over here. Maybe we'll flatten that out and there will be some industry over here after all. Okay, so we've got our nice nifty little bridge right there. We've got our... We've risen up here to the top, turn off my straight slope. Now I just have to figure out how I want to lay out this town. And I'm thinking I want to build it like the main road. It's sort of follow straight around here, so let's go with 12 units right there. Okay, that's good. You know, actually, there would be a street a little closer than that. I don't think... that's not really 100% true. You know what? We're going to do that after all. And we'll connect this up. Okay, I went one more unit up here. There we go. That's supposed to be a 180. What gives? Can't get it just the way it's supposed to be. Oh well. Alright. Okay. And we're gonna build... I'm gonna use a park path for this. Yeah, this'll work. Let's get a park path. I sort of like this because it'll level things. I just need to get this to... I'm gonna level it by hand here. All right, park path. We'll put a couple of them here. And then we'll use a node controller to put in a pair of crosswalks. Well, maybe just one. There we go. That's probably going to cause all sorts of traffic jams if I put public transportation in there, but who cares? And then I'll soften this part in here. People can handle grades because they can walk up. Now, I don't know, for all I know, that should be stairs. So we're going to have that be a park. And I'm going to use my... Yeah. This should look cool. There we go. Actually... we're going to do that, and... I'm just going to have that curve right into there. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to bust that out a little bit further. That should make a good main street right there. I don't like that. Error. Oh, did that still say 89? It did, I think. Hope that doesn't cause me trouble later. I hate getting weird gaps. Alright, so I'll have a main road going out here from the railroad station. And a main road going out here through the middle of town. How long is that block? 26 units. I'm okay with that. Alright, let's just build us a little town in here. Oh, it just occurs to me, I don't have any electricity either. Well, you know what? We're just going to have our own water system. Nah, that's really going to get confusing. Only reason why I wouldn't have my own water system is because, well, it just gets a little confusing to figure out when you're trying to troubleshoot your water grid. So I'll get some mains set up here. Okay. I don't know if that will connect or not. I'm not even going to put that much commercial in. Oh, wait. I almost forgot about my park. Actually, I'm going to make that all residential. And put all the shopping on this end. Alright, so I got my water. I need electricity. Oh, this is the part I dread. So, power lines. I don't not want straight slope here. Oftentimes I'll go straight up the hill. I think I'm going to just imagine that I've already built them over here. Built down to this end, which I might do anyway. Yeah. I have power lines down there. Okay, electricity. Check. Okay, starting the clock here. Speed things up. Oh, and I need to add transit. Otherwise, they won't be able to get downtown. They'll just work in that little spot. And now that I think about it, there really wasn't a whole lot of... Oh, I never connected the water. Probably wasn't a whole lot of point in doing this bypass station since I don't have any way to... Oh well. Whatever. I'm going to do the same thing with the water here. Just do it the easy way right now. Okay, we have water, we have electricity. Let's build a district. So what do you guys think we should name this little burg? You guys got any ideas? It's gonna need a name. Brook Square is definitely not gonna cut it. So many people so far. 182, not a lot. Here's a start though. How are we doing on time? About done for today. I need to turn the grid off. Does not want to find. Oh, it does not want to find that. I guess I should have thought of that earlier. Huh, bummer. Well, anarchy will fix that. There we go. Oh, and I zoned in that park. That wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, hey, they're already coming and going. That's pretty cool. All right, so now one of the things I need to do to make sure I don't get overwhelmed at some point is I need to turn off intercity trains. Now, right now, the Sims are using this to actually move in. But it will eventually probably block up. I don't know why that is so frustrating. This is the biggest disadvantage with this freight terminal. Now I might be able to get that to stop happening if I use Traffic Manager President Edition. So let's ban freight on these outside lines. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Uh-oh. This is bad. What is up with this? Okay, here we go. Now, hopefully I don't get freight trains stopping on the passenger platform for that. Again, that would really be great. I'd really like to get this. I thought I had advanced stop selection set up in here. Does not seem to want to work. Well, anyway. We are getting some good stuff going on here. Looks like we've got a little bird going on here. Now, one of the things that we're going to have trouble with out here is we don't have any fire or police. Thankfully, we're making a ton of money. So let's put in fire or police. Let's put in some services. We're not going to have any education. Well, I don't know. We might have education, actually, because of because we do have, there we go. We do have fire, you might have education if the Sims will go out of town for it. Healthcare, we're not going to have a whole lot of that either. So I'm going to put that right here. Probably need some death care because they're probably not going to, oh, I already have a dead one too. Let's put that here. And we could definitely build an elementary school out here. Okay. we won't worry so much about everything else. We could probably expand this a little bit, though. We already have water out here, so might as well take advantage of it. It should expand. There you go. There we go. Getting an autosave here. Well, we're getting to the end of the stream here. I hope you guys learned a few things. I hope you guys like what you were doing here. So let's see here. See what we've got going on in the chat. Are you going to put any unique tall skyscrapers in downtown? I think so. I don't see any reason why not. So that will eventually happen. Oh, garbage. Well, this is going to be a test. I totally forgot about garbage. Let's put a transfer facility in here. And we'll put this down by the freight station. I need water for it. So this will collect the garbage, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to do that. So what my hope is that we will get garbage trucks to come in here, put in the waste transfer station, and then trucks will be sent out by rail. I don't know. I'm hoping that's how it works. I don't know what to expect. I've never tried this before. I'd really like to not have to build an incinerator or a recycling plant out here because it's sort of separated from my entire infrastructure here. Huh. I did not think of that. I guess we'll find out when a train shows up and trucks show up here. Let's speed up the clock and see what happens. This is an experiment I have not run yet. Unfortunately, my trains are still... they are still stopping on this platform, which is really annoying. I might have to reconfigure this off camera just to get it to stop doing that. Oh, well, that's weird. One car train. Can we get a garbage pickup from our waste disposal facility here? %48 full. Will it empty? I don't know. The garbage trucks are definitely doing what they're supposed to. Yeah, I always forget about that with Move It. I don't know if it's because I'm watching on a small screen or because you're on another level of planning, but I never figure out what frustrates you when you're like, nah, don't do that. Oh, yeah, I probably should share a little bit more on that so you'd know what's going through my head. Sierra Vista as the name. Ooh, I kind of like that, actually. That's pretty cool. Pueblo Escondido, hidden town. That's another one I like. Centrail. Hey, I love your series. You seem very knowledgeable. Thanks, Henker. First time watching live. Glad to have you. Ebad Babar, Pueblo for the city name. Garbage is going to be a problem too. I can't stand to watch you while you are messing around with so tiny things. Yeah. Or you are making my cities look like garbage. I'm not trying to. I'm just showing, if you put some time into the details, it does make a difference. And let's see if this is... Oh, it is just getting fuller. I don't think it can get a garbage truck out here. Boy, this really stinks. And I sort of mean that literally because the garbage is coming. I was really hoping it would send that out by rail. I don't think it's going to do it, though. Well, I could just build a road. Or I could build a recycling center. How about I build a recycling center? Off, I think. Actually, no, I want to empty it. Let's see if it'll empty. Oh, it'll probably just send him over here. What if I turn this off? Oh. It is emptying. Where did it go? Let's turn it on. Oh, wait. Don't turn it on. Well, let's have it take garbage here again. I've really got to know if this is going to work. This makes a big difference to me. All right, let's see what else you've got in here. Is there another More Money, Less Traffic 2 video coming soon? Next week. Should have it on next week. Hello again from Columbus, Ohio. Go Bucks tomorrow. Yeah, baby. Adam Powell, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, looking at recycling centers, but I want to see if I can get this transfer thing to work. I would think it would, but I don't know. I'm going to try emptying it in a second and see what it does. Just for you to use the trains offline. Doesn't, yeah, just work. Doesn't work like that. Needs a waste processing truck specifically. Yeah, well, that's the thing is I'm wondering if it can ship that on rail. I thought I saw somewhere that it could. Let's try emptying it now. It's trying to go down. You know what? It can't go down because there's nowhere to send it. Unless I go to the recycling center. Oh, what a bummer. Now it can send it out. I think. To the recycling center. Oh, well. I was really hoping. Because how often... I mean, you got to figure they got to ship it by rail at some point, right? I would think. Oh, well. How big is our town now? 860. Almost 1,000. Hi from Egypt. From Mohammed. How you doing, Mohammed? Glad to have you. All right, so I think we're going to wrap things up now. And I think I'm going to go with... So what does Escondido mean? Is Escondido, is that Spanish for just hidden? let me know. Because that's not actually a bad little name for a little village. I know there's a town in California called Escondido. I never knew that meant hidden. Ellisburg. That's another nice name. I like that one too. Sierra Vista. That sounds so romantic. I love mountains. Now we can see all sorts of craziness going on over here. We got a lot of people moving in over there. Must be some jobs. Well, that's empty. I'll turn it off now for the time being until I build a road into town. If I build a road into town. Now, is this overwhelmed? Kind of. It is going down. We'll have to check on that in a minute here. So we've got a couple of little towns. One's connected by road and rail. The other one is connected only by rail. And we had to build all its own facilities. Now we almost have a little city going on up here. That's pretty cool. Oh, and one of my key sight lines. I feel like this is important to me. Being able to see downtown across that university. I definitely need to get some big towers along the Campos del Mar. I really feel like that'll make things look really cool. So I was hoping we'd get to develop this peninsula. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Let's see if our traffic is okay here. Population traffic. It looks like we're doing okay. It's not great. We could probably use a traffic light over here. Traffic lights are good sometimes. They actually get traffic to move more efficiently. And right now that's already starting to clear up a little bit. Probably could use... Yeah, you know what? Let's change this traffic pattern here too. Whoops, that's not what I want. All right. Yeah, I think that'll work a little bit better. That's a pretty busy station. Pretty busy area right there. Probably redesign some of that because it's going to probably be a problem. Everything else is looking really good though. Well, I mean, relatively speaking. How does our transit use look? It's not as busy as I thought it would be. Definitely not filling up our trains. How about our trams? Are we filling up our trams? Wow, we sure are right here. Sure aren't at that on that one at least. It might be because of the bus line that runs parallel. That one is running really well. So is that one. So that looks good. Our bus line is not as busy as before, but it's still pretty busy. We could probably switch to a different vehicle on that line. Save some money. Maybe. Oops. So the city grew a little bit. I think we're up to what? Oh, what are we up to? 35,000 almost. It's not too bad. So one last check of this thing here. The chat box. Do cities in real life transfer garbage by rail? I'm sure that some of them have to. It would be a whole lot more efficient and a whole lot more practical in a lot of places. Trucks going up and down mountains, probably not the best. If you happen to have a rail terminal like that, I would imagine that would be a way better way to go. Just depends on the volume. And I really thought that worked on this one, but it doesn't seem like it is, at least not with what I've got configured right now. I should work on the parks next episode. Yes, I think that's a good idea. We'll work on parks. We'll fill in this peninsula. We'll probably build out here and maybe put in some more rail. Not really sure. Probably expand that other little town over there too. It'll be a nice little bedroom community, bring in some employees to work in here. So that ought to take care of things for this time. I think I'll go ahead and conclude. Before I do though, let's take a ride into the station. This will be a fun way to go out. Can you help me start a city? Every time I start a city, I get like minus 10,000 and can't gain anything. I would definitely recommend you check out my More Money, Less Traffic series 2. It will give you some really good tips on finance, especially the first 2 episodes. Well, not the first 2, but the second 2 episodes, part 2 and part 3. More Money, Less Traffic. Take a look on my channel. It's in there. More Money, Less Traffic. There's how to start a city, and then there's how to, I'm going to switch sides here. There's how to start a city, and then there's another one about how to expand and know you can afford it, which is another really useful episode. I guess we'll watch the front of the train. Hopefully this won't make me sick. Or the rest of you sick. I'm more worried about you guys. Try that out, YouTube commenter. I think you'll find that series really helpful. And it's pretty brief, gives you a really good crash course. If you want to see something more in depth, the original, well, I don't know about more in depth, but it's pretty in depth, those 2 episodes. But also another one that's pretty in depth is my other first More Money, Less Traffic series, but it's probably not as exciting as the new one. So I like the new one. It's a lot of fun. So hopefully you'll enjoy it and find it really helpful. By the way, if you like this channel, you like this content, you want to see more of it, please subscribe. Please bring friends. I would really appreciate it. Please like and make comments on the live stream itself, not just in the comment box. I really appreciate that. I'm getting motion sickness. Looking forward to next week's episode. Hey, me too, Elric. Next week, oh, that's right. Next week's episode is probably going to be, I think we're going to end up doing Monday. Wait. Yeah, I think Monday next week. We'll be back on Monday next week, too. So, yeah, that's right. Like, subscribe, come back on Monday, a week from today, and we'll have another episode here in Puerto del Mar. Somewhere in the meantime, we will drop an episode of More Money, Less Traffic Part 2. And that's all I have to say about that. I hope most of you didn't get too sick on the train. I'll catch you later. Take care.